Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. It's Celine Driver once again, coming to you another unboxing and review of a watch that was loaned into the channel very generously. This watch came to me from Tocker, of course, via another YouTuber, another watch YouTuber, my buddy Chris over at the Watch Lounge. I definitely encourage you to head over to his channel at the Watch Lounge and give him a subscription because he does great videos as well. And he goes live quite often as well too, which if you like live streams, definitely will like his channel. Anyway, he did a review of this watch, and then he talked to the guy he got it from, a gentleman named Ross Gallen, who is an AD, I believe, and asked if he could give the watch to me, and Ross very generously said yes, of course. So thank you, Ross. And I got the chance to review my first Tocker. I've heard a lot about these watches. I've seen them on video. I've never experienced one, but I understand. And I've seen Ross on video. I've also seen Sophie, who is one of the co-owners of Tocker, and both very knowledgeable watch people, and they are putting out one hell of a product. And after experiencing this thing for the first time, I understand what all the fuss is about with respect to Tocker. This Air Defender, which is what this is in the box, is a fantastic piece. Very high quality box. Nice thick cardboard. Got that little packing. Woo! It tried to get away from me, didn't you? I like the fact that the watch comes in this travel thing too, so it does double duty, and you get this nice warranty card. I think there's something going on there. I'm not really sure what, but I just didn't want to disturb the packaging. I believe it's metal. It has kind of a coolness to the packaging, which is endemic of a metal card. But even if it's plastic, it's very thick, high quality stuff. So nice box. You know me, I'm all about the packaging as much as the watch. Nothing lets down a watch like piss poor packaging. Say that 3 times fast. Piss poor packaging. Anyway, inside the travel case, which is very nice and logoed, as you can see, we have on the crushable pillow, we have the Air Defender. And she is a big girl, she is, or a big boy. A big boy. This is a big watch. This is not something that you are going to wear and nobody's going to see it. I mean, you could use this thing to drive a nail into a piece of wood. It's that big. Very nice chronograph slash, no, I guess you could say diver. I'll get the chronograph going just so we can see it working. And you got to make an effort to push that button. This is no shrinking violet in any part of this watch. You've got to be purposeful when you play with this watch, whether it's the push buttons or the crown or this guy up here, which I'll get to in a minute. I like that custom rotor with that kind of turbine look going on. That really is a nice touch. Movement is not overly decorated, but that rotor really makes me smile. Quick release on the strap, which is nice, so you can put other straps on if you have the right spring bars. You can see the chronograph second right there is ticking away. You're going to see the chronograph minute up there. It'll tick over in a few seconds here. And there you go. You have your constant second right here, and you have your you have a 12-hour chronograph indicator there. So you can run this chronograph and time something for 12 hours if you so desire. We have a screw down crown, which right now is unscrewed. So let me screw it back down here. There it goes. And of course you can unscrew it. And it unscrewed, you can feel it. You can't really hear it, but you can feel it pop open. And then of course you have a day and a date function there, which is set with the first click. And with the second click, you can see it hacks the movement and it hacks the chronograph, which is a nice touch. You can see the chronograph. When you stop it, you start it. There's no jump to the chronograph second. It just re-engages very smoothly. And that's down to the type of movement that's in the chronograph. You can see it's moved to the second part. And that is a 30-minute counter on the chronograph minute. You have nice polish on the flanks with satin finish on the upper and lower part. It's a very nice watch. And I've only really got one other green watch. I'm not the biggest fan of green. I think the only green watch I own is the Zelos Thresher. And I took a chance on that one. And I'm glad I took the chance, but I don't own green watches, but this would definitely be one that I would consider. I'm going to put it on, give you guys a wrist shot, because that's kind of why you're here. I mean, just to see how the watch looks on a wrist. Pardon me. Anyway, there we are. This is the Tocker Air Defender on my 7¼ inch wrist. Very short lugs, which makes it wearable on smaller wrists. I'd say probably you could get down to a 6½ inch wrist before this becomes really an issue, because it has almost no lug to it. And the strap obviously is going to drop as close to straight down as you want it to. But it is a thick watch, so smaller wrist might, I don't know, you might have an issue with it, you might not. It depends on the wearer, I guess. So let's see. Now okay. So the chronograph is now up here, and if you press the lower button, keep your eyes open, click, it's a flyback, and it does reset to 0 very nicely on both the minute and the second hands. So it resets very nicely. Now up here at this crown, Omega puts a helium escape valve here, but this is also a screw down, and it releases, and it allows bidirectional turning of the dive bezel. So you can set it, like if I set it right there, and then I can screw it in. And unfortunately, with this type of bezel, you see how it moved? No matter how deliberate I try and be not to make this thing move when I'm screwing it in, it always moves. See, it moved there. I had it a little bit ahead of the minute hand, and now it's screwed in and it moved, so it's now even with the minute hand. So it's, if you're a serious diver, you're probably wearing a dive computer anyway, so this is not a big problem. You're just using the dive bezel on a dive watch as sort of a backup in case the damn computer fails on you. But if this is going to be your only dive indicator, you see how I had it set a little ahead of the 12 o'clock, and as I screwed it in, it moved a little bit? That bothers me. That's the only gripe I have about this watch, is the dive bezel is gimmicky. It would have just been just as easy to put on a standard dive bezel instead of this internal dive bezel gubbins thing. That would be a downside. If I were a diver, it would be a downside, and it might make me walk away from this watch. But because I'm not a diver, and I understand that this thing's going to move a little as I set it, I can compensate for that, obviously, by setting it just a little ahead and screwing it down, being deliberate, and hopefully it just moves just that little bit to line up where I want it to. So you've now heard my one and only gripe with this watch. Everything else I like. So I have my sheet of facts here. So let's go over it together so we can learn about this watch together. It is, as I say, a Tocker, T-O-C-K-R, Tocker Air Defender. There are multiple versions of this watch, and there are multiple collections on their website. I will leave a link to their website in the description. This is their stainless steel Hulk with a Hix, H-I-X strap. I don't know how they derived the word Hix from it. Maybe it's the brand name. Could be. I don't know. Made in the USA. So I don't know where the Hix comes from. Maybe it's the brand name of the strap that they subcontracted from. Whatever. It is the stainless steel Hulk with the Hix strap. It is a 100-meter water-resistant watch. It could be a dive watch. Don't go too deep. Certainly good for snorkeling or swimming. So, I'll leave that up to you. 42-hour power reserve out of the Valjoux 7750 movement. Same movement you find in the Zelos ZX automatics and in many other sport micro-brand watches. This does qualify as a micro-brand watch. It is a 3 sub-dial chronograph. It does have the constant 60-second running. It does have the 12-hour chrono and the 30-minute chrono sub-dials. As you see, it has the day and the date at the 3 o'clock position. It is a 316L stainless case, 45 millimeter diameter case. Big. Not the biggest watch I've ever put on, certainly not the biggest watch I currently own, but it's up there in the top 3 if I owned it. 22 millimeter lug. That's from there to there. So if you wanted to put this on a different strap, or you wanted to put this on a mesh bracelet or something with a straight across edge, you could certainly try to do that, or you could just leave it on this fitted strap. 48.1, I measured that myself. 48. I had to measure this, the lug width, and the lug to lug, and the thickness on my own. This was not on the website. The only thing on the website was a dial size. I measured at 48.1 millimeter on the lug to lug, and I measured 15.25 millimeter thick. Flat sapphire crystal on top, sapphire crystal on the bottom. This is probably why this is only a 100-meter watch, is because it's an exhibition case and not a solid case. I think if this were a solid case, they probably could have gotten 200-meter water resistant out of it. But we all know exhibition cases are a little more vulnerable to water resistance than solid. But then again, this is not meant to be a quote-unquote serious diver. That, in my opinion, is solely down to the bezel, the dive bezel execution. Certainly, it's an adequate dive bezel in terms of readability and the 0 through 60 minute calibration. But in terms of how it's executed, I don't think this is meant to be a serious diver. Although it could be a diver. Certainly I would not hesitate to take it diving. I just wouldn't be using it as my primary underwater timer. But that's me. And like I said, it's my one and only gripe on this watch. I like everything else about the watch, and I would recommend this watch to anyone who asked me. My one and only gripe is the cutesiness of the execution of how you set and lock the dive bezel. I don't like that. As a diver, as you know, as a regular sports watch, it doesn't bother me. So I think I've made that abundantly clear. It's a good watch. Really is a good watch. I see what all the fuss is about and all the hype is about with these Tockers. They are solid. This is a hunky, chunky watch, solidly built, quality build. It keeps excellent time. This thing on the time grapher, I have a time grapher. This thing on the time grapher was very, very good. I think it was plus 7 seconds when I put it on the grapher. So it was running beautifully. And that's that. Obviously, value movements are great movements. You know, when every watch I have with a value movement is just runs beautifully. So I'm going to leave it there as a strong recommend for anyone who asks. I think these are fantastic watches. I certainly recommend that you take a look at them. Like I said, I will leave the link to the website in the description. Go and give it a look. So if you enjoyed this video, I certainly hope you did, please give it a thumbs up. Clicking the like button, the thumbs up button, whatever you want to call it, helps make my channel more searchable. It helps draw people to the channel via the YouTube algorithms, so a thumbs up is very helpful. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I read them all, I respond to them all. However, if you are going to be idiotic or spam me or post spamming links, I will delete the post so nobody ever sees it, and I will block you so nobody ever sees you. So please don't bother. If you're new here to the channel, first of all, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Please, on your way out, click the subscribe button. And when you do, please click the bell icon next to it so when I either post new videos or I go live, which I do at least once a week, you will be alerted to that event. I hope everyone is okay, staying safe, staying healthy. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon.